Hello everyone, my name is Momtu and I am going to show you how to speedrun Lithium City effectively. Before we start, let's bind some keys. I highly recommend that you use a mouse key for dashes, especially during the prologue when you have unlimited dashes. This helps you spam dashes very quickly. I also like to rebind the throw key to F because it is easier to use than a mouse button. Let's begin. At the beginning of every chapter there is a displaying of the chapter name, which takes a few seconds, and sometimes there is a small cutscene, and this waits a few precious seconds. So we want to avoid that. So to do that we will restart from checkpoint, which immediately gives us control of our character. Let's see it again. Like that. At the beginning, if you don't move Typhoon at all and you dash, she will dash to the side. So your first input should be to the side, so that she dashes in the correct direction. Be careful, because if you try to start pressing the directional key before you dash, before the chapter loads in, then the input will not be buffered. So you will have to restart like that. Alright. When you kill enemies, there is a bullet time that needs to end before the door gets unlocked. To avoid that, you want to kill enemies either before they see you, so the bullet time never gets activated, or so fast that they don't have time to notice you. This was wrong. There we go. And here the door unlocks immediately, so I don't have to wait. A good way to figure out whether you are making good pace or not is to see whether the enemies have time to shoot at you. This one you can usually get before he shoots even once. Likewise for the machine gunner. Like that. For most levels you want to have a road ready when no RNG will be involved in the movement of the enemies. This is especially true in the prologue, where you won't be moving by walking much because it is so slow when countering Typhoon, so you want to be moving with dashes all the time, and dashes have a fixed amount of length, so you just need to count dashes in specific directions to know exactly where you are and to be where you need to be. When entering this room, for example, I dash once, then twice, I slash, I dash twice, I slash again, and the room is cleared. When attacking, this makes you move forward very slightly, so even if you don't hit enemy and you miss them by hair, then you can keep attacking, and in some situations we can be faster than waiting for the animation to end so you can move forward again and attacking after having moved forward. Here I want to dash up and then dash to the side. This reliably puts me in the correct position. If you miss some of your slashes here, as you can see, I need to wait for my cycle to complete before I can slash again. So ideally you want to slash exactly once per enemy here. So you don't have to wait for the slash cycle to reset to clear the room. At the end of the prologue we have an unskippable cutscene. usually we want to restart from checkpoint as soon as the next chapter is loaded in. So to do that, we will notice a slight change in background color. Wait for it. It will be red. Did you see it? The screen just became a bit redder for a fraction of a second. So this is when I know that the next chapter is loaded in, and I can restart from checkpoint immediately without waiting for the beginning of chapter cutscene. Oh. I have my own routes in muscle memory for pretty much every room, but I highly recommend that you figure out your own routes, because you might find shorter ones, and if you don't, you can always use mine, so either way you'll be better off than me. Here you do want to pick a SMG before you move on to the next room, so be mindful of where this SMG is dropped when you kill the guard. Here it is dropped on this side of the barrier, so no matter how close I am, I cannot pick it from the side which it is not. And I need to keep this in mind if I want to quickly pick it up and go back for the next room, because I absolutely need an SMG to get rid of all these bots fast. There you go, that was chapter 1 breakout, and now let's move on to chapter 2, reclamations. Let's wait for the background color change. It will be a little greener this time. There we go. In this chapter, our main concern is to kill enemies quickly, and since you need one full cycle of melee attacks to kill an enemy, whether you are using punches or a pipe, you want to group up enemies so that you will be able to take down 2 of them with a single cycle, thanks to area damage. Did you notice how after I complete a melee cycle, I dash away? This is because if you just wait, you don't have control of your character for a precious fraction of a second. And this is time loss that quickly accumulates over many times. So you always want to dash after attacking for the last time in a melee cycle. So here, this bot will go to the door and die if you stand in this corner. If you try to attack from here, then it will have enough transversal movement to step out of the conveyor belt. And if possible, you want to avoid that, so that's one less enemy that you need to deal with melee attacks, so that's that much time that you don't spend on attacking. Here, you want to run diagonally when entering this room instead of running here. This is because if you enter the conveyor belt from here, one dash is not enough to reach the next conveyor belt, and 2 dash is well, here it wasn't, but if you're at the door, 2 dash is too much and you hit the door. So ideally you step from here, 1 dash, and then you can almost immediately dash again here. Let's see, again. There we go. And then a third dash here, so that you can move around the conveyor belts very quickly. As much as possible, you want to avoid running against conveyor belts because that is a very slow way to move. Here I dash in the same direction as the conveyor belts. That is unnecessary and safe for only a fraction of a second. It's just because it's something that I might as well do. Why not? If you dash twice, it will bait his attack and you can dash a third time to get behind him. You can also dash 3 times, and sometimes he will attack you, but sometimes he will also turn around and then hit you, and that is problematic because then you will be staggered for a fraction of a second. So this can be a very slight time loss, which is why I recommend dashing twice and then the third time. Here you will always enter the room with the crates in the same position, so you will always be right here when you enter the room. This is the time when you can practice the position of the crates to figure out how to move, which crates are where on the first and second lane. The third lane doesn't really matter. If you do it correctly, you can enter right after this one passes here. Let's see it. I missed it. Enters room. There we go. That's how you're supposed to do it. Here, when you enter the room, once again the position of the crates is fixed. You can dash 3 times like that, and there happens to be no crate in front of you in line, so you can do that and ignore the conveyor belts and crates entirely. This room is more relaxed because there is no way to go faster than the crates. Here you want to go at least 1 barrier every 2 crates. Ideally it's possible to do 1 barrier every 1.5 crates, but that is quite hard. Here dash twice. A habit of mine to restart whenever I make a mistake so that I am forced to improve in order to pass. Here when you enter the room and you immediately go left, you can go for this and you will be able to move right past the double crate, and then you have a third dash to make this path a little faster. In this room, what you want to do is avoid overloading on dashes, because this might happen at the time when you need a dash to avoid dying from the 2 gunmen at the end. Here you just need to memorize the order of the doors, and when you've got it down to when you remember then enough, then you can even start dashing to make it faster. But first I recommend being able to tell which holes are where. Wait for the color change. There we go. So Spikes is the first really route heavy chapter. You always want to know what you're going to do next in every room. This is because you will most often have a gun in hand, so you will want to be killing all enemies while moving towards the exit to waste as little time as possible. I wasted them all, so I wasn't sure really. I wasn't used to having that amount of ammo at this part of the level. My routes in these levels might not be optimal, so once again try to make up your own and see what looks fine for you. Here what you want to do is to keep some shotgun ammo for the last wave, since they will be all grouped up together so you can kill them very fast. So I recommend using magnums at the beginning, then auto pistols, and then a shotgun at the end. You want to keep one shotgun full of ammo for the next floor, because one shotgun full of ammo can deal with one big bot, and otherwise you need 3 magnums full of ammo, which is slower. You can also deal with big bots with 2 auto pistols full of ammo, and this is actually faster than using a shotgun, but it can be tricky to have 2 auto pistols at exactly the right place. For the next floor, because you will be using grenades anyway. What you want to do is to put the pin on your grenades before the first one has finished detonating, so that you will waste less time waiting for the detonation. My grenade by placement is probably not optimal here, but that's what I know. That's the best one I know. Here you want to be using grenades to get rid of the big bots as much as possible, otherwise they will eat up all of your ammo, and it is very slow to kill them with bullets. Which is why you should try to remember which way they spawn in, so you can preemptively pull the pin on the grenades. That is bad. Yeah, I wasn't in position because of the grenade to pick a grenade and throw it where I need it. Otherwise, I would have been able to get rid of 4 big bots in just a single grenade. Here you want to get rid of the thugs before they have a chance to pull the pin of the grenade, otherwise the small bots will wait for the grenades to detonate before spawning in for the next wave. You see, you don't care too much about killing enemies as long as the big bots are in range of some grenade and you don't die. Your first priority is making sure that the big bots die to grenade. Oh, okay, and yeah, your first priority is not dying. That was kind of stupid death here. here it is possible to kill all 3 thugs with one shotgun blast like that, but most of the time you will need 2, and that is a bit random related to the spray of the bullets from the shotgun. And that was chapter 3. Your first priority in these levels is to make sure that the wagon departs. Otherwise it will take time to depart no matter how fast you kill the enemies, and it cannot reach the next station before it has traveled all the way. So first let the enemies move in, and then consider killing them. Like on reclamations, here your priority once all the bots are bored is to group them up so you can kill many of them with a single melee cycle. Come in. One of them didn't get in. This is very bad for me. After the door opens here, I will wait a fraction of a second for this guard to move in, so that he doesn't see me and stay outside the wagon. Doesn't matter how fast you kill the guards here, since you will kill them faster than the wagon can depart anyway. As long as no one stays outside. So what you are intended to do against the police car is to dash through the hail of fire to avoid the bullets, because there is a small... you have a few invincibility frames when dashing. Although this doesn't work against all types of attacks, but in particular it works for Gatling fire, so you can rely on it. But something else which you can do is just hide behind this door, which for some reason protects you from bullets, so you don't need to do anything, and then you can go grab a cup of water, or turn the music, or check your Facebook feed, while you wait. Or you can chill to the awesome commute music. So you'll notice that I set up guns in both corners of the car. This is for this part, where I want to empty all my bullets into the enemies. Oh, that's very bad. I used my third dash, so I was out of dash and I did not get out. This is why you should always try to keep your third dash reserved for emergency. Here it doesn't really matter how much damage you do to the bots, as long as they all die in one cycle. Otherwise, the car will sweep the wagon for another cycle, which takes time. You don't need to damage the big bots at all, actually. If they're not grouped up, then they will take then one sweep will be enough to kill them all. But if they do bunch up, because at some moment you stand between two of them, so they get closer to each other, then you will need to inflict some damage to make sure that they all die in one cycle. I'm not sure why there is no music here. It is a bug that I have very rarely encountered before, and it is a bit sad because I find this cutscene quite beautiful, especially when you're playing for the first time. Here there is something which we are going to do. Look at those glass statues. This is where you get ambushed by the glassman for the first time. And the glass statues straighten up and then they despawn before the glassmen spawn in. So you want to avoid that because it takes time. So we are going to destroy the statues so they cannot, so they don't take the time to spawn, and the glassmen spawn immediately. Here you can use the key by dashing, even if the door is closed. Usually you won't pass through, but it doesn't matter because then you immediately restart from checkpoint and the room is considered to be cleared. When this room is cleared and you restart for some reason, then it will spawn guards in. This is the only room in the game where that happens, but it means that you can pick up an SMG for this room, and the SMG is very helpful in taking care of the glassmen very quickly. You want to keep the SMG for the next row, so that you can quickly deal with the guard here. And here you want to save a few bullets for the last of these 12 javelineers. There we go. You want to destroy them so that you don't have to wait for them to despawn after they throw their javelin at you. If you have the pistol, then it is possible to go through even faster by killing them faster than they spawn, and this will, if no one of them is present, then it will immediately spawn the next one instead of doing it on a set timer, which can save you a very small bit of time, but for that you would need to pick up the pistol from the guard that you killed, and that would waste more time than you save, which is why I recommend just using the SMG to get rid of the last 2 or 3 javelineers. For the maze you will probably need a bit of RNG. Yeah, I did very poorly. It is often faster to wait for the doors to move than to go towards the exit of the current maze. On the return, on the first trip. Here you want to pick an SMG before you go into this room because you can do that, which does the room very quickly and safely. Likewise, you want to go a bit beyond the half of the room so that you can trigger the appearance of the javelineers from the side that you're coming from. Be careful about these machine gunners. They can be very dangerous. If they get a clear shot at you, they will kill you in less than a leaf. The disc is a very fun weapon to use, and if you have it, you should definitely take advantage of it. But if you don't have it, then you don't need to rely on it. And you can absolutely punch your opponents without taking the time to recover a new disc. You don't need it. It is only helpful if you have the opportunity. Here your goal is to kill disco balls before they can throw their discs. This did not happen here, so I have to wait for the thrown discs to stop before the door unlocks, even when all enemies are dead, which is why you want to kill them all before they can throw their discs. Here you should go in with the disc to easily get rid of all the fences. It doesn't matter if you're a bit slow at the beginning, since they spawn at a fixed rate. In this room, if you survive the first volley, then you will most likely clear the room. So just focus on dodging the first champion volley. On this floor, it doesn't matter which of the three rooms, in which order you clear the three rooms. You can do it in whichever order you find more convenient. Here, if you can try to get 2 discs, otherwise one is enough and 0 is too little. 3 is a bit too much because then you are at high risk of getting killed by your own discs. In this room it is possible to go quite fast if you know how to aim the discs so that they come back to you, or if you can punch the discs midair back to the sender. This is not something that I am able to do, unfortunately, but this is something that I am aware is theoretically possible. You can also grab discs midair, even enemy discs. But this is something that is pretty much impossible to do with human reflexes. Well, impossible to do with infrared. After you clear a room, always make sure to spend your key into the barrier, so that even if you die in the next room, then the barrier will still be unlocked and you won't have to redo the room that you just cleared. Here your goal is to get a disc as fast as possible. Let's see if I can grab this one. Yes. But make sure not to die. And once you have a disc, it gets much easier. Again, if you have 2 discs, it can be better, but don't get too many discs or you will die from them. Try to position the key towards the end, because you will have to pick it up towards the end of the gauntlet. Here, if you can get 2 discs, it is better than 1. I did not manage it here, unfortunately. here, before the glass football begins, we are going to use a speedrun strat, which is to run across faster than the walls can close, so that you don't need to place the glass football at all, like that. You can overload, it doesn't matter, you can, but ideally you wouldn't, and you would do it like that, so that it is slightly faster than overloading, and you can just move on. This is actually an intended feature by the devs. Maybe they thought that some players could find the glass football annoying, since it is so different in gameplay from the rest of the game. As much as possible against the airship, you want to move forward while it is still attacking, because you are supposed to be able to move forward. You are supposed to move forward one cover per Gatling cycle. So if you can do better than that, you're doing very well. So that means that you're taking more risks, and it can be devastating. Depends on a lot of RNG which way the airship will turn, whether that is the way that you that will put some cover between the two of you. I like to play this part very risky, because I find that it is much more fun. You will also notice that sometimes the airship is not shooting straight at you, like here for example. It will gradually correct its aim while it is firing, and that is something that you can exploit to walk around its Gatling fire. I'm doing it slowly here, sorry. Here you see it is aiming behind me, so I can move forward even if it has not finished its Gatling cycle. But doing that means that sometimes there will be no safe zone at all from the guards and the airship simultaneously, which means that the strat that is risky, that sometimes there is nothing you can do to survive, which is admittedly a weakness when you're doing well on the speedrun so far, because you're gambling it all on RNG in some sense. For the next level, as long as you keep 4 or 5, that is enough for the 2 guards here. But I started firing before the doors open. I'm not quite as focused as I should be. There we go. So what I try to do is to pick beyond the door so that they would spawn in and I wouldn't need to wait for them to get around the corner like that. Unfortunately, I didn't go far forward enough, fast enough. Sometimes I get it. You cannot win a straight fight against the agents. They aim better than you, they aim faster than you, they are more dangerous. You do not want to fight them straight on. You want to wait for them to fire the salvo, or you want to attack them from behind. Or you want to be waiting for them so that you can shoot at them directly. But if they know where you're coming from, then it's probably a better idea to move forward. here we will do a skip, where as soon as the room is loaded in, we quit to the title menu, and then we continue, and this skips all the preliminary cutscene before Typhoon, and we can jump straight to the boss. Funnily enough, we keep our ranged weapon, but it is useless because she will dash away from any ranged attack, and even if you hit her with it, it won't deal any damage. This is probably an anti-cheese mechanism. How do you deal with a Typhoon effectively? As much as possible, you want to pin her into a corner like that, so that when you hit her, she will not be able to dash to escape, and you can get a full melee cycle in without her being able to move away. When she charges up for a special attack, for a spin, that is also a moment when you can deal good damage in. When she charges up her purple gun, you always want to interrupt that because it is very bothersome to dodge. Sometimes when she's charging up like that, you can interrupt her when you know that she's slow and have into her next phase, because it will interrupt even her javelin summon attack to get out of one phase. When she summons javelins, usually you don't want to affect her at that moment, because even if she is interrupted, the javelins will remain and attack you. So she might do 2 attacks simultaneously, and you might not have the ability to dodge them both. Sometimes it just won't allow you. When you attack exactly at the same moment as her, there will be a parry, and none of the attacks will connect, but there will be a little bullet time. This is something that is very hard to create reliably, and I don't really recommend relying on it at all. Here I used my 3 dashes when I should really have used only 2, one for an emergency case. Fortunately, she did not use something like a bubble gun, which would definitely get me in this situation. Always be mindful of your health when you are low on health. You do not want to try to engage her too directly, because then she might stun lock you with her melee attacks, and she can reliably get up to 4 hits in, and you can survive only 5. So if you're not full health, she might kill you without giving you a chance to dash away. And that's done. Oftentimes you will find that beginnings of runs can be a little rough. I like to restart the prologue about a dozen times to warm up and to make sure that I get the prologue perfectly correct, since it is so fast restarted this time. For later levels, such as Dragon 6-2 with the long airship level, this is not an option, so these are the levels that you need to be able to perform very reliably. That was Lithium City. I hope you had fun and that you feel inspired to try to speedrun it by yourself.